Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to the Halloween movie marathon. And tonight I'm reviewing Scooby Doo on Zombie Island. I know that it's technically a kid's film, but I still consider it a horror movie just because of how dark it is. Like, I'm not ashamed to admit that this is like one of the few horror films that that has actually scared me. And that mostly has to do with how grotesque the zombies looked. That and the fact that that like I was a really little kid at the time when I saw this film. Um, and well, the fact that like I used to always watch Scooby Doo when I was younger, and I always knew that it was like a bad guy in a mask or whatever, or in those other cartoons like Scooby Doo and the Ghoul School, I think it was called. They were like friendly monsters, right? But here, like the monsters in this film were real, as the trailer said, and they actually looked pretty horrifying. Uh, like in the film, it actually shows the zombies like getting resurrected, like starting out as skeletons and then like the flesh literally peeling onto their faces and having their faces like twisted in like weird ways. There's a scene where a zombie literally loses his head because like Fred and Daphne are trying to unmask the zombie because they think it's like a criminal in a mask, but they end up ripping the entire head off. And once the zombie gets his head back on, like he actually takes his time to like just reorient his head onto his neck. But getting into the story itself, I kind of see this story like even though it's the first in this line of movies about how the monsters are real. I kind of saw this movie as sort of like an epilogue to the Scooby Doo series, because it basically starts with it basically starts like how a Scooby Doo series usually starts, with a bad guy being unmasked, right? And it has like the usual Scooby Doo antics where like like the sight gags of Scooby and Shaggy like jumping up and like running in place, and then they like zip out of the room, going into like multiple different doorways, eventually unmasking the criminal, right? But then it fast forwards to showing that Mystery Inc. went their separate ways, kind of like in the live action film, where like they all went off on they all went off to do like what they wanted to do. Like Daphne became a talk show host. Fred became her producer, I think. Shaggy and Scooby are security guards. Velma's working at a bookstore. Excuse me. And Daphne is talking about how like she just wishes that they'd find like an actual haunted place, right? Well, the gang all comes back together because they're sent to investigate this island, island that's supposedly haunted, right? And from there, it's a bit of a slow burn to actually like see the zombies, but like you still see like the ghosts, and and there's all these like creepy imagery of like ghosts being caught on tape, ghosts in the mirrors. But when the zombies actually show up, like everything just gets turned up to 11. The music is an absolute banger. The song Terror sorry. The song Terror Time Again, I think is one of the coolest songs in any like kids film, horror movie, you name it. Like it's the song I used back when I made that Friday the 13th music video about the video game. Just was like it was so great to listen to. And like I said before, excuse me. like I said before, like this film was actually like scary for me. Like I actually had nightmares about this film as a kid. Now obviously that was when I was younger. I'm older now. It's still a fun movie to watch. And in fact, like this movie is the reason, right? This movie is the exact reason why I actually went and got the Return to Zombie Island movie about a year or so ago. Because like I was hoping that they'd bring back that whole like creepiness factor and like and making the monsters real. And for those who saw my my disappointing movies list that I made, I think last year, uh, that movie was one of them. Because well, um, so whereas in the original Zombie Island film, like the zombies were real, the twist that the owner of the island was sort of like this like cat where sorry, the fact that the that the owner of the island was like this cat werewolf monster creature, and how like they've been luring people to the island so that they could like basically drain their life force from them, and that's how the zombies were created in the first place, which by the way was a great twist. But Return to Zombie Island not only takes away the monsters being real thing, because they go back to it just being criminals in masks, but they also kind of insult the original by saying that the original film, by saying that's what happened in the original film, that in the original movie they were still criminals in masks, and they even they even showed archive footage of the original film in Return to Zombie Island, and they still say at the end, like, no, they were just criminals. And the character who says this in the film is Velma, because like that's her way of trying to rationalize it. And they even admit, like, I think it's Daphne or Fred who even admit in the film that like Velma's actually wrong, but in the end they give up and just let her have that win, which I don't know, maybe it's just because I've got nostalgia for the original film, but the Return to Zombie Island movie just felt so insulting when I saw it. But that rant's over. Going back to the original film, like, it's just amazing. There's really not a lot that I can say that I didn't like about it. And, well, to me, it kind of set the bar on Scooby Doo films. Like, I'm pretty sure I saw that one before the live action film. So I was really hoping that in the live action movie, like the monsters were real, and I'm glad they went that route. But unlike all the other films that are gonna be in my review series this October, like this film is one that like you can just pop in the DVD and like let your kids enjoy, because like I mean, as much as I love horror and slasher films, I probably wouldn't have kids watching Nightmare on Elm Street or Friday the 13th, right? But with this, like, it's a fun, campy Halloween film that you can enjoy with your kids. Like, I'd put this in probably alongside, like, Beetlejuice or Hocus Pocus. But that's really it for this review. And I'm gonna go get a glass of water. And I'll also see you guys tomorrow for another review. Good night, everyone.